Hey guys, welcome back and happy Saturday. All right, guys, I know I said this, but I'm still trying to hype it up and make sure that everybody's going to be there for it. First of all, we checked out our Hot Messy podcast and we have it's like getting close, creeping up on 100 ratings already. And we just launched the trailer. So we don't have our first episode until September 30th. And if you guys want to know who our first three guests are, you can join us on Monday for Let's Whine About It, our members only live, where we're going to be talking about the behind the scenes for our interview with Kelly Dodd and Rick Leventhal. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the podcast and who our first three guests are. Lots to discuss, lots to break down, but I did want to say thank you guys so much. And if you haven't checked it out, go to the description of this video, click on the trailer for the podcast, go leave us a rating. Let's just knock this out of the park. Let's get 1,000 in the first, before 2023. Let's get 1,000 ratings if we can. That would be the best Christmas present. Anyways, let's talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta because there's a lot going down and Kandi has just given us a huge confirmation while also putting a lot of people on blast. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys. So thanks to Reality Blurb and Kandi Burruss herself for giving us this information, but we're going to start with Carlos King, who, yes, is arguably one of the most famous Housewives producers alongside Andy Cohen, and he executive produced Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now he has his own podcast, and he's constantly revealing, well, Bravo secrets. So castmate Kandi Burruss, however, has a secret of her own, and I thought that this was interesting, and she claims it doesn't paint Carlos in a negative light. Speaking on House of Aaron, Kandi asserted that her, whole life story from behind the scenes of her band Escape, well, Carlos tried to steal this, allegedly, right? We got to say that. She also said her mother was contacted to be interviewed for it. I listened to this interview. I thought it was so good. I thought Aaron did a great job. Kandi seemed very passionate. Like, you could tell that she was holding back tears. This is something that really irked her. But yeah, can you imagine? You have this fascinating background, fascinating story that come up, and I come behind you. I'm your good friend, and I know everything about it. And I'm like, ooh, plotting behind the scenes to steal it. That would be terrible. My main issue with Carlos is he is the one who stole my group's life story and sold it to TV1. And for that, I just can't get past it. He had been working with us the entire season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And this is what Kandi's saying before revealing that Todd Tucker was also in conflict with Carlos. The season wrapped in November and in December, and I was talking to a director friend, and I was like, hey, we should do a movie about our group's life. And they were like, somebody's already doing it. Initially, Kandi believed another group member gave away their life story before she allegedly discovered it was Carlos. Come to find out, he is the person who had the deal with TV1 to sell our life story and was going to try to ask my mother questions about us unknowingly to try to get more information, I guess, for the show. According to Kandi, this obviously triggered the end of their working relationship, and she was pissed, and she has a right to be, though she previously wanted him to be the executive producer on Kandi's wedding. That was her first spinoff. Our show, Real Housewives of Atlanta, was the first show he was the executive producer of. I literally fought for him to be the executive producer of my show, to be the lead executive producer. For you to have somebody that you went out for to do that, to me, I have no respect for him. Now, Kandi also had another battle as well after her cousin, Melvin Jones, was allegedly shot in the arm. I know you guys remember Melvin. The reported altercation began at Kandi's restaurant, Blaze Steak and Seafood, and investigators believe Melvin's colleague, that he was the person who shot him. She's speaking on the recovery. I need coffee. This is a lot going on. He's doing fine. He's getting through it. So since he's okay, I'm okay. If he wouldn't have been okay, I wouldn't have been okay. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's uncomfortable, but the bullet didn't hit anything that won't heal. He's at home. He's healing. He's fine. He's not fine, but he's okay. Now, obviously, we know on top of this, when the story first broke, the names of the shooter and the victim were not disclosed, though it was reported that Melvin went to the hospital as the assailant fled the restaurant. But the injuries were not life-threatening. That's great news. We wouldn't want them to be. And the next day, Kandi's restaurant released a statement. Blaze will be closed today for a system update and staff training. We apologize for any inconvenience and appreciate your understanding. We will reopen Friday, September 9th at 1 p.m. Well, that's unfortunate. Now, on top of this, I want to get into something a little bit more positive because Kandi went on social media and posted on her Instagram that she will be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She said, last season, you guys thought I wasn't coming back. This season, guess what? I'm coming back. I'm coming back for the next season. So she's confirming that they're starting to secure that. And of course they would, because this is how it goes. And they film the entire season, and then the season starts playing out on TV, right? And then once it starts playing out on TV, that's kind of their break, or sometimes they'll do pickup shots. And then they get into the reunion while the show's on. So at the end, towards like the last 3-4 episodes, they get into the reunion, they film the reunion, and then probably about 3 weeks, anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months, that's when they start picking up filming again. So that's when contracts are starting to go out. That's when they're entertaining the idea of who's going to be on the show, who's not going to be on the show. And I was pretty sure Kandi would be coming back unless they were bringing back or in Phaedra. But I feel like they've been pushing Phaedra so hard on Dubai right now. They had her join Caroline Brooks. They had Caroline Brooks FaceTime her at the reunion. It seems like they're pushing Phaedra really hard at this point. But for Kandi, I think that I don't see her going anywhere, especially with her producing these spinoffs, Kandi and the Gang. It's just not happening. I think that Porsha is going to be joining them, and I think that we're going to get the entire cast back, plus maybe one more. We're going to have Drew Sidora, Sonia Richards-Ross, Marlo Hampton, Sheree Whitfield, Kenya Moore, Kandi Burruss. Am I missing someone? And probably Porsha Williams. Yeah, that's who I think our cast is going to be, so hope you guys are excited about that. I think it'll be great with Porsha coming back. I really wish Nene would come back, but I know after her and this lawsuit with Bravo, it's never going to happen. But I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Obviously, we know that Aaron gave us a great interview with Kandi. What are your thoughts about this whole Carlos King stealing her life story situation? I know this happened, it was like earlier during the week that this was broke, but it wasn't earlier in the week that it was broke that Kandi is, in fact, returning. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And are you happy that Kandi's returning, or do you think her time on the show has come to an end? I know you guys are going to come in with the unfiltered opinion, so go ahead, comment below. And before you go, again, don't forget, Monday, we have Hot Messy Topics at 12 p.m. We have our interview with Kelly and Rick premiering at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then right after that, we're doing our members only Let's Whine About It at 8:30 p.m. And our Let's Whine About It, we're talking about our first 3 podcast guests, the behind the scenes of Orange County, and everything in between. Love you guys. Have a safe weekend. If it's pouring there like it's pouring here, well, stay dry, stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.